country that this world has ever seen. All right, America. What is going on? Welcome to Tuesday post-Iowa caucus election coverage. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to start this off fiery, blazing across the board. So you need to hit that like button. You need to hit that follow button. You need to comment in the chat. And you need to share this. That's going to offend people far and wide. Ladies and gentlemen, I am appealing to you today. Aren't you mad? Aren't you upset? For everyone who fell for the bought and paid for Haley DeSantis influencers, I hear myself. Somebody's got something on a phone or something. Either way, for everyone who fell for the lies that this was ever actually a chance, ever actually an option, that it was ever going to be anyone other than Donald Trump, for every single person that challenged me daily, talking about how anti-constitutional republic I was, and oh, Graham, shouldn't we listen to this and this? Of course we should. But I also believe in realities, and I also believe in the truth. I also understand how politics actually works. Last night was a 100 million% death blow to the lies that they have been telling you for months, telling you that there's a chance. Oh, Nikki Haley's got a chance. Oh, Vivek's got a chance. Oh, DeSantis has a chance. No, you lined the pockets of their political consultants and made them millionaires, and they lied to you about it every step of the way. We're going to show you now all the high-profile influencers that are now coming back on the Trump train. We're going to show you what took place, but it is time, ladies and gentlemen, to stop. It is time to stop what is going on, and it is time for us to move on and unite behind Donald Trump. That's it. That's all I got. We got it. Wait, somebody.
I think it's Zach in his office.
Is it your live feed on your computer right there?
No.
Okay. Well,
It's nothing
we got
in here.
somebody in the office. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Now, after that riveting thing, let's get into our normal thing of the show. But I had to say that because I'm sick and tired of this crap that's going on. I'm sick and tired of all this stuff, and everybody is seeing it for exactly what it is. Hot Seat Todd is here.
What's up? Sorry, my guy look like a Al Capone movie right now.
his camera decided to just crap
died.
out right before we went live.
Died.
Not Mexican Tony is here. However, look how patriotic you look all of a sudden on this one. I like it.
Very
Gotta represent.
Very nice.
Tony is a victim of hacking.
Oh my God! That
Somehow
was so funny.
Tony said, "Tony, tell him what you told us about your account on Rumble that's
that was
talking to
so
everybody."
Well, all of a sudden, last night I was just going through my Rumble account, my X account, and whatnot, and my handle on my Rumble account says "Not Mex Tony" now, and all the videos that I've been watching and liking and whatnot are unliked now. So somebody
hacked Tony's account and turned it to Not Mex Tony.
I'm gonna tell you what happened. You put your handle as Not Mexican Tony, and probably the creators were like,
No,
not happening. No, not that guy.
I hope that's the case. 'Cause I don't
Anyway,
wanna-
all right. So as you can imagine, this is one of those shows where we knew what the outcome was going to be. It was just a matter of how big, how large, and then it was a matter of what happened after. So our show kind of got to a point where this morning, like I don't have my sheets as normal. We're just going to walk you guys through this thing as best as we can to bring you guys the truth, because I want this not only to be a affirmation of things we already knew, but for us to emerge more united now, because it is time to move on. It is time to stop. And what I love are all of these mega influencers and all these people who said, oh, there's a chance and oh, there's a shot. And then this dumb redneck from Mississippi has been calling it from day freaking one. And I'm not tooting my own horn, but dang.
Toot it, baby.
At what point do you throw your hands up and be like, who are you listening to, and why are you continuing to listen to people that obviously don't know what they're talking about? Ben Shapiro. I love Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro, and I'm doing the Donald. when I'm doing this. Ben Shapiro is wrong about everything.
You've only got
everything.
You've only got one more thing to get right.
This
one more, and I'm telling you, if Big Mike joins the race,
I'm telling you,
and you going to Vegas, dude.
Man,
I'm telling you,
I like Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro's wrong about everything. I like Candace Owens. When it comes to politics, she's wrong about everything. Tommy Lahren. She's 50-50, depending on if you like Tommy Lahren or not. She's wrong about everything politics. All of these people are always wrong. They are masters to get you to watch their stuff. I don't like trying to get you to click on something and say bull crap pulled straight from my booty hole, talking about how, oh, this is the way it is and blah, blah, blah. No, I'm telling you this stuff because this is the way it really is.
Facts. And facts don't care about your feelings.
Nobody has a shot at being the Republican nominee. Okay.
Breathe, baby,
That's
breathe.
fiery. Ooh.
All right. But let's get into the show, shall we? Before we break this down, we do have some updates on some things. Todd, take us through the updates on just lead us through the first couple things here to get us started.
All right. Well, we'll just go to threes. All right. So
there we go.
First off, and this was broke by Colin Rugg last night. The explosions from ballistic missiles have been reported near the United States consulate in Iraq. The article says shortly after the explosions, the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps took responsibility for the attack, claiming they destroyed spy headquarters. Some reports claim the U.S. consulate sustained significant damage in response to the recent terrorist crimes of the enemies of the Islamic Republic of Iran. The spy headquarters and gatherings of the anti-Iran groups in the parts of the region were targeted by ballistic missiles in the middle of the night, according to the ABC news source. And here is the big boom.
Well, seems like things are going well.
Scary stuff right
the
there.
Other countries here. All right, what else we got? Like I said, I don't have my paper today. We just got to walk through this stuff.
All right, huge news. And me and you actually talked about this last night. This was great. Deal. The movie Sound of Freedom, which is become really one of my favorite movies out there right now, has surpassed, and it's dollar for dollar, has passed The Godfather in box office earnings.
Crazy.
That's
I haven't seen that movie. I heard it. Well, I wasn't here when my family went to go see it. I was in Oregon taking care of my mom. So
and it wasn't playing in Oregon because it's a communist state.
Well, I'm sorry, but my mom's health was a priority at that point.
I'm not. I didn't mean it like that. I was just saying Oregon wouldn't play Sound of Freedom.
Yeah, no kidding.
But across the board.
Kudos to them. That movie was awesome. If you haven't seen it, you need to check it out. But
all right, what else we got before we get into the stuff here? What is this? Oh, okay. This was something that was very interesting that we talked about before the vote yesterday. Me and Todd went to lunch and we were talking about this stuff. And this was something I read that nearly half of Nikki Haley backers would vote for Joe Biden over President Trump. So let's call that what it is. Pretty much all of Nikki Haley voters are Democrats at that point. Like that's all that means. Nearly half of her voters, if Nikki Haley doesn't get it, are going to vote for Biden.
Oh yeah,
they're Democrats. That's if you would vote for a Democrat over another Republican for president, you might be a Democrat. You know, I mean, like,
that's all I need to know. Like, if I don't look, if you claim to be a Republican, that right there is all you need to know. Like, stop checking the box for Nikki Haley. Call it a day.
It sounds like she has more independence than she does Republicans, if that's what they're thinking, because just having conversations with liberals and independents, they would much rather vote for the opposite party than vote for Trump.
Let me ask you a question, Tony, and I'm glad you brought that up. And this is one reason why Tony is here, because he brings that perspective, because Tony, I would say, is not as far right as I am, but he's definitely not a leftist by any means. He would be level-headed, as I would like to say. But he has lived amongst the crazies on the left for
True,
quite a
very
while.
true, yeah.
So let me ask you a question before we get into the election results and all this other kind of stuff. Is there anything, absolutely anything, if people on the far left found out tomorrow that Joe Biden is on the Epstein tapes, is there anything that will stop them from voting for like Biden or whoever the DNC puts in place? Or is it just they're voting Democrat no matter what?
I believe that they're just voting Democrat no matter what, because just a little bit on the conversations that I had, and mind you, when I lived in Oregon, it was a very liberal state, but not really in the sense where everybody thinks. It's more the metropolitan areas that are very liberal.
Yeah.
When you have blue collar, hardworking people that live in Central Oregon, those are the conservative people that are like-minded thinkers.
But isn't that in itself funny? Well, I mean, and I agree with what you said. The hardworking, tax-paying, like own their own business people are conservative. It's almost like, well, what's that stat? 50% of people who aren't conservative become conservative once they have kids.
Yeah.
Because they finally see how all this crap affects like their children, like kind of thing. Isn't that interesting? What I mean, why is it then so many of these, especially Western, like far West Coast states, are, I mean, if you're a Republican, again, people get mad at me when I say this, you're wasting your vote in California, Oregon, Washington.
for sure.
And I'll take it. I'm sorry, Tom.
No, you're good. No, you're good.
I'll take it one step further. So I used to work in my family's restaurant for over 30 years, and I myself am a blue collar worker. You know, trying to take care of my family, protect my family, kind of thing. And as I was working at the restaurant, a lot of the people that were very liberal, very left, would ask me when the elections would come up, you know, kind of with a smirk on their face, like, "Who are you voting for?" And I'd be like, "Well, I'm definitely not voting for Biden or Obama or anything like that." And they would just have a shocked look on their face because I'm a minority.
Yeah.
And
I can imagine.
It's just a stereotypical thing that they have the minority vote in their pocket. So,
well, my thing is always like with the initial question that Graham asked you when it comes to, you know, those people in Oregon or the liberals in California, if Biden's name came out on the Epstein list, is it they don't care? We're going to vote for him anyway? Or is it, oh, man, nobody believes that anyway?
I believe they wouldn't care because they would in my opinion, think that they would vote for anybody besides Trump, no matter who's on the ticket.
Yeah.
It could be freaking Satan on there and they would vote for.
But can we all agree then, and comment in the chat what you think as well? Can we all agree then that is delusion? Like,
without a doubt.
like that is partisan delusion to I mean, like literally going down with the ship that's sinking, like no matter what, right? Like you can't define it as anything but delusion.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I would agree that, you know, a lot of these people, they're just so entrenched in their beliefs that they can't see that the country's going downhill. And you know, his time in the office right now, being the President Biden, you can't compare, or I mean, if you do compare Trump and Biden the way it is, I mean, everything was so great. We were riding on cloud nine when Trump was on.
Yeah.
But you cannot convince these people.
Well, I would also think that we have a large generation of people who just don't care. Like they don't
That's
care.
true.
Let it burn. Let it burn, baby. We
Mm-hmm.
don't care. But speaking about delusion, we're here to talk to you about the delusion that has been this entire Republican nominee candidacy campaigns. Because that's all it's been, is one massive delusion, deceptive thing to take your money away. And everybody in the chat right now, don't act like you ain't been on my tail for months now. I've talked about DeSantis. I've talked about all of them. And I've seen your comments in the chats. I've seen them. Graham's lost his way. He's forgotten what this country's all about. It's about this and it's about that. You're right. It is about that. But I also don't like stupid people. I also don't like losing. I also don't like people trying to tell me how politics actually works when you don't know how politics actually works. While we're doing all this infighting, while you're spending your money to campaigns who have no shot, by the time it gets to the end result that I've told you from day one it's going to be, which is Donald Trump, now you ain't got no more money to donate to Donald Trump to fight the Democrats.
It's like a tornado that hits the ground and then picks back up and starts back building. You know, I mean, while we're fighting amongst ourselves and arguing between DeSantis and Haley and Vivek and all that stuff, man, that Democratic tornado is just building
I'm gonna do my best.
and building and building.
I'm going to do my best to be respectful for the
That's
next
fake
for
news.
the next 40 minutes of this episode.
Absolute fake news.
I'm going to do my best to be respectful. However, we are now at a point to where it is time for you, the listener, to freaking pick a side. That's why I've said it all the way through, but before the elections yesterday, I even put it on Twitter and everywhere. I said it right here on the show.
Sure did.
I ain't waiting on the tea leaves to fall.
Nope.
I ain't doing what all these other influencers and mouthpieces are doing, just kind of sitting back and waiting and see. No. I said Donald Trump is 2024. He's going to sweep this dang thing. He had my vote in 16 when they stole it from us in 20, and he's got it again. I was at Mar-a-Lago when he announced he was running for the third time. I do not care what I don't care when people get mad. I don't care when they get upset. When I say I'm there, I'm there. And we're going to talk about this stuff. Whew.
Breathe, baby.
Okay.
Breathe, baby. You want my swear jar over
No,
here?
no. It's not. But now that this is done, now that one has dropped off, Vivek, and we'll get into all that in a minute. I'm telling you right now, if Ron DeSantis and Nikki Haley do not drop out today, they are bought, paid for swamp creatures. And if you continue to donate to their campaign, hang on. I'm gonna say this in a language that you can understand, because I do. I speak your language. Bah. 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 As Ted Nugent would say, they understand what I mean.
Absolutely.
I just talked about
that reference as soon as you did it.
I just talked about their mama, and they know. They know.
Well, what I don't, I honestly, I think DeSantis will have enough sense to drop. Haley ain't going nowhere.
Haley ain't going nowhere, but she also ain't got the votes.
Nah.
If Ron DeSantis wants to have any kind of career at all after this, if he wants to salvage any possibility that he remains the governor of Florida after this, his only move of self-preservation is to grovel at the knees of Donald Trump and pray that over the course of the next 2 years, because he's got an election coming up
he does.
in 26.
And if he's not careful,
and I'm telling
he'll
you,
be out.
It's going to be rough. All right, so here we go.
What I don't understand, though, is why do you think that Haley is not going anywhere? I mean, she came in third yesterday, so I don't.
Yeah, you'll find out in a minute.
Yeah, well,
we got that coming up.
Basically, all her donors, she's already said that January 30th, she has meetings with mega donors that are going to infuse her with cash to fight Trump. And every one of those mega donors have Democrat ties and Rhino establishment ties.
Okay. And Vivek understood the assignment. He knows that he is an up and coming, that, he knew he wasn't going to win, but this was to get his name out there, to get his position out there, and he did the right thing. He did the smart thing. This ain't the last we've heard or seen of Vivek.
Somebody said Todd looks like he needs a blood transfusion.
I know, right?
Todd's camera went out 30 seconds before the show went on, and we didn't have time to recolor his camera. So he just
hold on, does this work?
He looks like he's now Dracula's new servant, kind of thing. All right, so let's get into this. All right, so let's talk about what happened yesterday. All right, and let's put full context to this. There is a dang day after tomorrow winter storm happening all over the northern United States, and Iowa felt it across the board. But yet, this video shows just how many people are showing up for Donald Trump. This was the night before the election. This is Iowa. This is what Trump's pulling night before our election in Iowa. Pause. I don't see Nikki Haley or Ron DeSantis doing that.
Dude, that's awesome.
I mean,
man, that's just
again, just on that
awesome.
right there. Why do we even have a race going on? Like, what is the debate? That's what I don't get. Like, what is the debate? Well, they could win. They could win a more purple state.
yeah. Nah,
That's the Republican nominee you want, the one that could win possibly a more purplish state, and then when they actually go against the Democrat, they ain't gonna win it. Okay.
It's just like almost every state this dude goes to, it's like he has home field advantage, man. I mean, it's like home
because he does. Todd, this man won the 2020 election. This is the rightful president of the United States.
No doubt.
If you think Trump won the 2020 election, I want you to blow up the chat. All you need to do is type a Y for yes. Y for yes, or W for win, or whatever. Blow the chat up if you believe that Donald Trump is the rightful president of the United States. Because I'm telling you right now, I absolutely believe that. He was 45. He should have been 46, which would have kept him at 45, but he's fixing to be 47. The end. Blow the chat up. I see the chat. I see it. Go, 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 go. Blow the thing up. Blow it up.
And Iowa wasn't really
Crash, rumble.
Iowa wasn't really a race. It was a formality more than anything. I mean,
yeah. Well, we all know that.
Look at the chat. Look at the chat. Look how crazy.
Man,
Look
I got
how
so
crazy
many
that
problems
is.
over here.
Look at that. Look. Can you guys see this? Like, can you guys see the chat? Blow it up. Blow it
my
up.
God.
Look at it. Go.
Yes.
Go. Do you believe Donald
Get
Trump
it.
is the real president? Blow it up. Why in the chat? Why in the chat? Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. You can't fake these numbers, people. CNN. This is real. This is a real audience right here. This is a real audience, CNN.
God, I wish we could put the
I
chat.
see you. Look at this. Look at it going.
That's beautiful.
Look at it going.
It's, man, we
You
love
need a
y'all.
camera. You need a camera just on the live chat there.
Yeah, I know.
All right, let's put it back. Okay, so what did Iowa voters have to deal with? Don't even play the video. Just go to the shot.
All right.
This is Marjorie Taylor Greene in Iowa. That's what they had to deal with to get out there. So people were concerned, like, oh my gosh, like, are people not going to vote? People are still blowing up the chat. I love you guys. Break it. Break the chat. Break it. Shut it down.
Shut it down.
Just let the feed crash right now.
I'm going to tell you right now, I love Donald Trump. I don't know if I'm going out in that.
Yes, you would. I would, for the record, I would drag Todd out there myself.
You'd have to.
Okay, so this is Marjorie Taylor Greene looking like she's in a James Bond film right now. But
that's a good call.
But this is what they had to deal with. So people were worried, like, oh my gosh, are people going to show up? Are people going to do this? Are people going to do that? Man, did they? Next slide. Like I said, I don't have a sheet this morning, but we're gonna go. Okay. This is Carrie Lake. Let's play her little video right before the elections results started rolling in.
That is not
Here
a good
we go.
shot of her right there.
Oh my gosh, guys, the chat is still going. That is, look, that is insane.
Man.
How this thing is still going. You guys are awesome.
Man, y'all rock,
All
man.
right,
Y'all are awesome.
Let's hear what Carrie Lake has to say.
Hey, America, we're here
Look
in
at that
Iowa.
wind.
This is amazing. We are here a full hour early to the caucus site, the biggest caucus site in all of Iowa. It's in Pella, which is an incredible town. And you got to see this parking lot. It is jam-packed
Chat
with
is still
cars
blowing
already.
up. That is nuts.
We thought we were going to be here first and earliest, and Iowans are not going to wait this out. They're not going to risk being late.
Yeah.
They're going to be here early, and we're so excited to be here. I'm really honored to be delivering a speech for President Trump on behalf of his campaign, and we're just thrilled that Iowans are delivering. They're delivering on their promise to do their due diligence, to make sure that they bring us back 4 more years of incredible leadership here in not just Iowa, but across the
All
country.
right. So there we go. So those are the conditions. Go ahead and find the next thing before you bring it up, Todd. And we were all wondering, what would happen? We here at the team, we're all like, all right, guys, it's going to be a long night. You know, the results are going to be flowing in kind of thing like this. And then the next thing we know, within what felt like 30 seconds,
it was done.
They were like,
done.
Donald Trump. So this is CNN in real time having to be like, I don't know if I've ever called a race this quick in my life. Donald Trump wins. Oh my gosh. Guys, you guys are still blowing up this chat. Blow it up. If you believe that Donald Trump is the rightful winner of the 2020 election and is going to win in 2024, keep blowing this thing up. Just type Y for yes. Y for yes. Just keep blowing this thing up. This is nuts. It is not stopped since I go, blow the chat up. Blow it up. Crash Rumble. This would be the funniest thing ever. I see you, Dan. You crash Rumble all the time. We're going to crash it too. We're going to crash it too. Blow the chat up. Blow it up. That's awesome. Okay.
I want to say something about the people from Iowa. I just want to give them tons of
Applause
props, man,
for the people of Iowa for
not
showing
only
up.
for showing up.
Huge
I mean,
props.
I myself, being from Oregon, have dealt with not the temperatures they have, but we got hit with a few snowstorms, and being out there and shoveling snow. It is not fun.
I'm
it is
out.
colder.
I'm
as,
out. I'm
matter
out.
of fact, they're dealing with over in Oregon. I just want to say, be safe, my peeps, and stay warm.
Like,
But,
don't get me wrong.
It is brutal out there.
I love my home state of Mississippi, but it's like 15 degrees in Mississippi right now. It's like
so jealous.
45 out there. I'm
jealous.
glad to be in this state right now.
All right. Here is the glorious moment from CNN of all places. Play the clip.
To do. Okay. All right, John King, we can now make a very important projection.
Very important.
CNN projects that Donald Trump will win the Iowa caucuses. CNN can make this projection based on his overwhelming lead in our entrance poll of Iowa caucus goers and some initial votes that are coming in. The former president pulling off a huge early victory in his bid to return to the White House. Trump easily defeating his top opponent, Ron DeSantis and Nikki Haley. We're now in a high-stakes fight for second place.
Oh.
Let's go to Aaron Burnett at the panel. Aaron,
That's
not a
beautiful.
surprise to do.
That's beautiful. You can't beat that.
They literally have to go to now for the rest of the programming. I guess we're going to
We're gonna
find
talk
out
about-
who's second place because
Yeah.
another thing is let's skip real quick. Find the one where it ended so fast that they didn't get go. Almost there. We'll go right here. Play this clip. This is hilarious. Watch this. It ended so fast that Donald Trump supporters didn't even have time to get to the victory stage. Watch this.
Is there any action there yet?
No, I'd rather him to follow. You know, Jesse, usually when you have the Iowa caucuses called in your favor, you hear this big explosion of a crowd noise. There's no crowd here yet. There's a bar with a bartender there, standing there, and there's nobody at it because they called it so early.
The chat
because we
is
called it so
still
early.
going, guys.
That's something that the Trump campaign was looking for.
Is there any
Okay, so it ended so okay, now let's go all the way back to the next clips there. So it ended so quickly that literally nobody was at the victory event because no one expected. Dude, I was going to like the bathroom and I come back and it's like it's over.
We're watching the Bills
Yeah,
game.
it's over.
And like,
oh, by
boom.
the way, go Bills, baby! Woo! Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
I was sitting. I was laying in bed with my wife, just watching it, and we
well,
were.
Tony, we don't need to hear about all this stuff on my.
we were chatting about it, and all of a sudden it comes up. Well, wait, that can't be right, is it? I
Oh,
it was
yeah,
literally
man.
like a minute and a half
Wait,
into the
It
program.
was crazy.
It was
Yep.
done.
It was crazy. All right. So as you can imagine, people like Rachel Maddow were not happy about this. So here is a clip of the Rachel Maddow who has decided to look less like a boy here lately. And here is some of her initial thoughts of Trump here. Let's go.
And the big picture takeaway from that, and I don't mean to be, again, too dark, as you said, on this, but it is not, if we are worried about the rise of authoritarianism in this country, we are worried about potential rise of fascism in this country. If we're worried about our democracy falling to an authoritarian and potentially fascist form of government,
Peppermint patty.
the leader who is trying to do that is part of that equation. But people wanting that is a much bigger part of that equation. And the American electorate is made up of two major parties. One of those parties has been flirting with extremism on the ultra-right for a very long time. They've They've brought them in a way that they haven't been central to Republican electoral politics ever before, and I know because I've been studying this. But once you have radicalized one major party so that those are the preferences of the people who adhere to your party, the leader's interchangeable. And yes, Trumpism is sometimes what we call it. MAGA movement is probably a better way to do it. But there is an authoritarian movement inside Republican politics that isn't being bamboozled by Trump. They are pushing Trump to get more and more extreme, because the more extreme things he says, the more they adhere to him.
We're the extreme ones. Isn't it Biden's DOJ that's being weaponized against American citizens?
What was the speech in the Billy Madison movie when he gave the answer?
Everything you said is everyone who has listened to it is now
dumber for having to listen to it.
We're the extreme ones. Every single one of these people on this panel, I promise you, they are pro murdering children at the point of birth. I promise you, every single one of them are pro infanticide. Every single one of them are pro chopping off the genitals of children, puberty blockers, gender fluidity, transitional kind of stuff. I would say half of the people on there are probably in the LGBTQ community across the board. We're the extreme ones. Every single person there, I promise you, hates America.
Yeah. And I love this little down here. Iowa, 40 delegates, 4%. 4% in. Trump declared the winner.
Yeah, because it was so...
It was a bloodbath.
And there's a lot of people like this. So DeSantis people were trying to say, oh, they called it so early, blah, blah, blah. Again, this is politics, okay? You can tell... When your initial batches coming in from your bigger counties, okay, come in, and it is so overwhelming that there is no way that there are trends in states and in counties. You know what counties are going to be red or blue or this or that, right? Okay, well, when it's all for the red team, and in 3 or 4 counties, it's all so overwhelming for one person. That's how you can pick it so quickly, because it's not going to radically just change. Yeah. Because this ain't a red versus blue thing. This is a red thing.
Yeah, right.
Okay?
Right.
It's a little different than the red versus blue type elections.
Just a
okay?
destruction.
Again, just going to educate people that don't get the politic thing a little bit here. Okay? Because
learning has occurred.
There's a lot of DeSantis's doing this. Even though you barely squeaked second, bro. Barely. But we'll get into that in a minute. All right, so this is Tim Pool. And I like Tim Pool. Tim Pool, he's a centrist more, I would say. He, goes back and forth like this. Balance is really good. He's a skateboarder. He's got good balance. He can do this.
Do that again? Yeah.
Like this. He can do that. But this is Tim Pool last night speaking truth from the beatdown that has never been seen in Iowa. So real quick, what I do know about Iowa, Donald Trump got more votes in Iowa caucus than has ever been received by a person ever.
Yeah.
He won by a margin higher than anyone has ever won, ever. Okay, so let's play Tim Pool. Here we go.
Look. Trump has gone from 70 at less than 1% with the race called for him. He's now at 57.7%. Even if Ron, Nikki, and Vivek's were all added up, they're still not beating Donald Trump.
He's too famous. He's so famous.
What
about Ryan?
He's too famous.
That's the part I can't stand.
He's so famous. He's too famous.
Like, I'm sorry. Like,
he's too famous, guys. He's too famous.
Like, fame ain't got nothing to do with it, bruh. It's America wants their leader back. America wants its country back. Like, get out of here, man.
All right, so this is a real good thing. Charlie and Jack had some real good real-time things here. Talking about Vivek, all right? So, again, and me and Todd, we actually had this exact same conversation yesterday. I said 100% of this is what led to the Nikki Haley people voting.
Yeah, right.
I said 100% of Vivek votes go to Trump when Vivek gets out.
Oh, yeah.
So I think Vivek got 8% of the vote, or 7.7. So add another 7% to that.
That's
now
a
Trump's
fact.
got almost 60% of the vote.
Oh, yeah.
All right, but play Charlie here. This is good stuff.
Vivek is hanging around 7%. Jack, you look at these numbers with Vivek. We're all friends with him. Is that a win for Vivek? Is that a win? Because
I have a thought. So yeah, walk us
Jack
through
looks
how
like
we should think of the
They
Vivek
should put
deal.
out a rock album.
No, number one, here's a huge thing that people need to understand. Whatever number of votes Vivek gets, you should just sort of mentally add that to Trump's number. Okay?
Yes.
Because he did not go for these establishment voters. He did not go for voters that were anti-Trump. He went for voters that were Trump voters, right? But wanted potentially someone younger, wanted potentially someone who, to use Vivek's words, would be allowed to win the nomination, not have the deep state come down to them, et cetera, et cetera. Right? So this is a big part of it. But for a guy to go from not being involved in politics,
I agree. You get the point. Does anybody disagree with that? I think that's 100% true. I think that 100% of the Vivek voters are going to Trump now. Comment in the chat. Let me know what you think. All right, what's this?
I think we've
already done that. Let's move on. Okay, here's Raggedy Ann. Here, okay, Raggedy Ann, Peppermint Patty, the worst press secretary that we've ever had.
I don't know. That chick that's there now.
Hold on now. KJP's in the alphabet clan. You can't talk about her.
Sloth.
You got to identify the right way before you say something about KJP.
I'm a sloth.
But this is Raggedy Ann, who has grown her hair out, and it has not helped at all. And anyway, this is her thoughts on the race, and prepare yourself for the sheer poetry that is what's about to come out of her mouth.
New Hampshire. And I think to the point that you made, Steph, I mean, it's the elephant in the room. She's still a brown lady that's got to try to win in a party that is deeply anti-immigrant and which accepts the notion that you can say immigrants are poisoning the blood of our country. She's getting, birthered by Donald Trump. And I don't care how much the donor class likes her, which will ramp up a lot, the better she does in New Hampshire.
This, ladies and gentlemen, first of all, you need to hit that like button right now. Second of all, if you're new to this show, you need to hit the follow button because we're telling you the truth. This MSNBC is defending Nikki Haley, who is running as a Republican for president of the United States.
All you need to know.
And they could have easily said that this is like the patriarchy, right?
Yeah.
I would have even been like, all right, maybe there's an argument there, maybe not. But now they're saying Nikki Haley ain't getting it because of racism.
Oh, yeah.
It ain't got nothing to do with her genitals. It's got to do with the color of her skin.
Well, I mean, that's their go-to.
All of a sudden, Nikki Haley is as they said,
she call him a brown
girl. That's what she said.
That is what she said.
They are first of all, anybody on MSNBC that defends anybody running for Republican, I'm out.
And she needs to pull her wig down a little bit, by the way.
She's mad. She flipped it up like that, and it did a little receding.
She needs to do a little.
Anyway, so Nikki Haley obviously is getting attacked by us because she's not because she's a woman, but because she's brown.
Well, golly, what does that make me?
Dude, I mean, so many people think Todd's Mexican. I mean, it's hilarious.
I'm darker than Nikki Haley.
Hey, so check this out. Look, I don't know this guy. I don't agree with his content at all, but go to Instagram and look up Robert Frank. That's Todd.
Stop it.
That's Todd when the lights are on, and there you go.
Can I say something about this?
Absolutely, yeah.
It is. I think she sounds almost ignorant because why does it have to be about race or gender? Why can't it just be that she wasn't pulling the kind of voters that Trump or DeSantis or Vivek was pulling? Did she just, she has a strong following, but obviously she didn't have as many followers as Trump did.
She has a strong Democrat barely right of center following. That's what she has.
Yeah.
If Nikki Haley would have ran in 2008, 2012, she might have won.
She might have.
But it's gone.
Yeah, but
the veil has been lifted to politics. There's no going back. Like a Nikki Haley is never going to happen.
Nope. But to answer your question, T, the reason they do that is that's woke. Like that is there should be a little woke card. Like, because once you're woke, you can make racist statements. You can make what you can basically say whatever you want.
Well, Tony can say whatever he wants. Yeah. That's why we have him on the show.
Exactly. Yeah, but I'm tired of getting yelled at.
But I choose not to because I have morals.
That might be the greatest statement from a person of color that I've heard in a long time. I could say that, but I'm not because I have morals. We need more of that in this country. All right, so to tell you how much trouble DeSantis is in, this is coming from, well, you can go ahead and pull it up on the screen. This is coming from DeSantis backer Bob Vanderplatz. And he has put it best on Fox News last night.
Whitest name ever.
So this is a DeSantis backer who has now changed his tune. Let's hear what he has to say.
If President Trump wins Iowa here, I think it's going to be awfully hard to make the case that you can beat President Trump, and he's going to be your eventual nominee. If President Trump...
That's a DeSantis backer who said that. Well, Trump didn't just win. He...
smacked him around,
put it in a chokehold like that.
Apparently, we're in the UFC now,
buddy. I'm telling you,
look, man. We ain't got much longer. You break something in here. I ain't that experienced yet.
I think we got to back up Mike if I break it. All right, so this is Charlie and Jack talking about it again about all these rumors of a potential Haley VP ticket. Let's listen to this. Oh, real quick before you do, comment in the live feed. If you don't want Nikki Haley as a VP, the Trump team watches this. We've proven that. The president watches the show. Let the president know. If you don't want Nikki Haley as a VP ticket, just type the letter N for no in the chat. Blow the chat up. The Trump team watches this show. We've proven it to you. Let them know how you feel. No. Blow the chat up. Here we go. Play the clip.
We're fielding a lot of emails here, freedom@charliekirk.com. I want to tell you, I want to play a step ahead here, okay? Donald Trump is crushing it. He's won. Nikki is overperforming DeSantis. If that trend continues, there's going to be a massive uniparty push to make a Trump-Haley ticket.
We don't want it.
I cannot emphasize enough the gut punch that would be for our grassroots. We need to send a clear message. We will not put up with that. That would be a major mistake. That would be a Koch brother infiltration of a MAGA movement. And Jack, this is a real threat.
Pause.
Okay?
I agree with this completely. That's why I'm telling you the Trump team watches this show. If you don't want Nikki Haley as a VP ticket, you need to comment in or no or whatever. Blow the chat up right now. Let them see what you think and let your voice be heard. How much was left on that? Let's get
like 2 seconds.
Okay. Play it again because this is very important. The Trump team watches this. Nikki Haley, we cannot have her as a VP. Comment no or comment in and blow the chat up. Let them know. Let them see it. Play it.
We're fielding a lot of emails here, freedom@charliekirk.com. I want to tell you, I want to play a step ahead here, okay? Donald Trump is crushing it. He's won. Nikki is overperforming DeSantis. If that trend continues, there's going to be a massive uniparty push to make a Trump-Haley ticket.
We don't want
I cannot emphasize enough the gut punch that would be for our grassroots. We need to send a clear message. We will not put up with that. That would be a major mistake. That would be a Koch brother infiltration of a MAGA movement. And Jack, this is a real threat. Okay, we need to get out of here when it comes to that. Instead, we did a whole podcast on that. We're fielding a lot of emails.
I agree. I think it's a real threat that the Uniparty will try to make that happen. Guys, your thoughts?
I'm just curious what he said. That would be a Koch brothers thing. I get what Charlie was saying, but I've been thinking for the last 60 seconds, Koch brothers.
Well, we don't have time to get into all of it. It's infiltration stuff. But either way, okay. I think that here's what I believe. Well, I'll get into what I believe here in a minute. Let's look at how dominant this was. By the way, somebody's got the freaking heat on in this office again. I pay the bills in this office. I'm going to lose my mind
this guy
on whoever keeps turning the freaking heat on because it's hot in here. Yeah. It's hot in here. I'm finna take my clothes off. All right.
Well, I'm going to you.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Here we go. Okay.
So it wasn't me.
This is how big the beatdown was. Sorry, guys. It's hot up in here.
Yeah.
All right.
I have a blanket.
Here you go. Here is Iowa. Show it in a clip. Look. Okay. Donald Trump won every Iowa county except for one. That one barely turned for Nikki Haley, and somehow Nikki Haley finished third.
Yeah.
Ron DeSantis visited all 99 counties, lost every single one of them, somehow ended up second. 68% of those polled believe Biden didn't actually win the election. Oh, it turns out we're not crazy.
Wow.
Other sane Americans know that the election was stolen. Wow, oh, wow, me, oh, my. What are the odds of something like that? It's almost like we know. It's almost like we've known the whole time. It's almost like we've known from the beginning. These people have no idea what they're talking about. So now it's time for the groveling and the, what is it, a 360? Is that all?
Yeah.
No. That's back
180.
360, you're back in the same spot. 180 turn from a lot of these people. And again, I got no personal problems with these people. Matt Walsh, Ben Shapiro, Tommy Lahren, got no problem with her. Benny, all these people, got no problems with it. Ashley St. Clair, they're all good friends of mine. I got and we're allowed to disagree, okay?
Mm-hmm. Well, you talked me off the ledge.
Todd
He talked me off the ledge.
all on board for DeSantis,
I
okay?
was.
Look, and we are allowed to disagree. But people that are in this public forum, if you're going to continue to open your mouth, at what point do I get to say, you're wrong, always?
Right now?
All the time. You're wrong all the time.
Right
You're
now?
always wrong. You're always wrong. You're always wrong. I'm always right.
It's scary.
No, let me
It's
rephrase.
scary.
I am not always right. No one is always right. I'm 98% of the time right.
Dude.
It's very rare.
You're going to start picking my lottery numbers.
Look,
Yeah, me too.
look,
I was gonna
man.
say.
Hey, look. Just play the clip. This is Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro coming around saying, you know what? It's time to get behind Trump. Play it.
Oh, I bet that tasted bad.
Play it.
Well, folks, we will obviously have full analysis of all the results from the Iowa caucus tomorrow on the Ben Shapiro Show, so make sure that you tune in for the full analysis. But here is the very quick story. Donald Trump wins walking away. All of the pollsters called this thing pretty much as soon as the polls open. That raises questions in and of itself about procedure, about whether that affects the final vote tally. But bottom line is they were doing that based on the entrance polling data. Donald Trump is way out ahead. Donald Trump is so far out ahead that the rest of the field can't even see him. This is Secretariat against the rest of the field in the 1973 Belmont Stakes. What does that mean going forward? It means that de facto Trump is the nominee. If no one could challenge him in Iowa, if nobody really has a chance of challenging him based on that momentum going into New Hampshire, if nobody has a challenge for him in South Carolina, then all you can say at this point is that he is preparing for the general election against Joe Biden. And we're already there. Maybe it was always going to be this way. After all, he's been treated by the Republican electorate.
It was always going to be this way, Ben.
And he's been treated that way because that's how they think of him. Many Republicans think, by the way, that he won the last election against Joe Biden, rightly or wrongly. And so why wouldn't they treat him that way? There might have been a brief moment in time where there were minds that were open to be changed enough to possibly challenge Trump. But that time passed a while ago. And it's pretty obvious at this point that Donald Trump is going to be your Republican nominee in 2024.
Pause it. Isn't that what I've been saying the whole time?
Whole time. Bro.
Isn't that what those of us who have remained sound-minded, not chasing the current little cattail of whatever seems cool at the moment, isn't that what we've been saying the whole time?
But you know what? I got a question about one thing.
Don't we need resolve?
Ben said, in the beginning of his little speech there, when he said they called it so quickly that he was, that there's a problem. There could be problems in and I'm like, what? Like, come on, man. Like, you're talking out of both sides of your mouth.
Dude,
at this
all
point.
I'm saying is that is nothing more than a talking point to get more people to listen to Ben's show today, which I get it. We all do it.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not hating on the game.
I listen to him.
I ain't hating on the game, player. And like I said, me and Ben are friends. We are. I mean, I got a good relationship with the Daily Wire. One thing I love about the Daily Wire is they're allowed to disagree with each other. So I'm allowed to say, told you. Told you. It's a good thing we're not on the Daily Wire, because I'd be in that cigar room going, how long do you guys just admit you don't know the politics stuff? Matt, you are the king of the what is a woman stuff. Ben, you are a savant. But when it comes to normal Americans, you guys don't get it. You just don't get it. You don't get it. You don't get it. You don't get it. You don't get it.
Thank you, Todd.
Let's look at the
You're
historic numbers here. Historic numbers, okay? And then we'll get into another person that has all of a sudden like, well, you know, I guess they're right. Okay. I think that the eventual total was like 56,000 people voted for Trump. So this is the most people have ever talked about or gone out to vote. Don't we have a clip of Charlie talking about the money wasted? But look at this. Look, 51%. So Ron DeSantis, and we'll show clips in a minute. Ron DeSantis is acting like he is the heir to be president. You just got curb stomped by 30 points in Iowa.
$300 million.
I'm pretty sure we have a clip of Charlie talking about this. Can we search real quick in our notes here? I'm pretty sure we got a clip of Charlie.
All right, let me look.
Talking about this. No, it'd be back the other way.
No, we don't.
Is there not?
I haven't skipped
that?
anything. No.
Okay. I thought we put that in there. I guess we didn't. Anyway, yeah, that's what almost $300 million bought the DeSantis on Team DeSantis stuff. Remember all the times that I told you to stop giving your hard-earned money to these people? It wasn't because I was trying to rob people of their right to have their voice heard. It's because I want you to be able to pay your bills. Because Ron DeSantis spent $300 million to get curb stomped, bite the curb, curb stomped by 30 points.
He's going to need a new mic.
$300 million made him lose by 30 points.
The fact that he visited 99 counties and lost all 99, dude, I would go climb off in a hole somewhere. Like, I would be gone. Like, nope, I'm through. America hates me.
I'm just, okay, all right. Look, and to prove the point,
here's why he lost right here.
DeSantis
Here's
right
why
here.
He lost.
DeSantis, you just, first of all, before you play it, look at the numbers. You barely beat Nikki Haley. Barely. You are down 30 points. 29.7, I guess, if we want to be like completely whatever.
Man, that looks like my Green Bay the Packers beating my Cowboy score right there.
That's pretty close. But yet, here is DeSantis saying he's going to be the next president of the United States. Pure delusion. Play it.
As the next president of the United States, I am going to get the job done for this country.
Pause!
I am not.
You're going to get the job done. You just lost by 30 points in the Iowa caucuses.
God.
In the mountains of caucus, you just lost by 30 points.
Like, I'm sorry.
What are you talking about?
I'm going back. Hold up. I got to hear this again.
Play
This
it.
just for my.
I'm going to get the job done.
As the next president of the United States, I am going to get the job done for this country. I am not.
That right there. Hold up. All those signs, those are all the people in Iowa that voted for him.
That's
right
his
there.
family. That's his family and paid staffers.
Wouldn't it have been awesome if he would have been able to set himself up for his future political career to say, come out and say,
man,
I got absolutely the crap beaten out of me. Sorry, I suck.
Isn't it time for him to go back?
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
you're being realist. Yeah.
Shouldn't he go back and do his real job? Like be the governor, but that wasn't to be outdone by Nikki Haley. Nikki Haley, as we just showed you, came in place. And this is what she has to say.
Delusion
about
at its
this.
best.
She came in third. One more time. Came in third. Play the clip.
I can safely say tonight, Iowa made this Republican primary a two-person race.
Out.
It's math, Nikki. You came in third. You came in third, Nikki. That doesn't even make any sense. Negative one time. Does that math work? Never.
Whatever drugs their staffers are giving them, I want some of that. Like you lost by 40 points. Like
drop out.
Yeah.
Next, this is Tommy Lahren. Tommy Lahren has been on the DeSantis train. And look, I got no beefs with Tommy. All right? I don't. Me and Tommy have known each other a long time. Do I agree with most of what she says? No, I don't. But she went on the attack against Trump supporters, and this is what she had to say last night after the results. Here we go.
Let's get your take, Tommy Lahren.
Well, you know, Sean, I'm from South Dakota, and South Dakotans and those in Iowa, they're very similar kind of people, and they are, as you mentioned earlier, bread and butter type people, and they're still very much MAGA Republicans. They are very much for Donald Trump, and they use that as a positive, by the way. They love Donald Trump, and they love considering themselves MAGA Republicans. I think this also shows that Republicans have kind of a real big choice ahead. Do we all galvanize around Donald Trump now, or do we wait a month or a few weeks? And I think even as someone who is a big supporter of Ron DeSantis, I think that tonight, with this decisive victory for Donald Trump, I think it is time for Republicans to galvanize behind Donald Trump. I do believe he's going to be our nominee, so it's time to set our sights on the general.
Been saying it for weeks. Woo! We have been saying this for weeks.
We're running out of time. Speaking of the right thing, here comes Vivek. And again, I said this from the day one. I like a lot of what Vivek says. I think Vivek's got a bright future. Here is what Nikki Haley and Ron DeSantis need to take us some cues from. Play it.
Now, this is a campaign founded on speaking the truth. Not just when it's easy, but when it's hard. Not just to the Democrats, but to our own side. And not just to other campaigns and candidacies, but to ours. And so I will stick to the truth tonight. The first hard truth, and this one's hard for me. I got to admit this. But we've looked at it every which way, and I think it is true that we did not achieve the surprise that we wanted to deliver tonight. And I think that that's just a hard fact that we're going to have to accept as a campaign. And the question then is, what do we do that is right for our country? And so Purv and I, we actually didn't make this contingency plan before everybody told us to. We said, no, we're not doing that. But we talked about it tonight. We took a little bit of time in our apartment in Des Moines before coming here to make some hard choices. And I wanted to make a couple of announcements tonight to get the business out of the way. And then I want to tell you where we're going. As of this moment, we are going to suspend this presidential campaign. And this is going to have to be, there is no path for me to be the next president absent things that we don't want to see happen in this country.
Man.
And I think that I am very worried for our country. I think we are skating on thin ice as a nation. We have done everything in our part to make, and done, every one of us in this room has done our part to save this country. And I am so proud of every one of you who have lifted us up. But we're a campaign founded on the truth. And so that's why we've made that decision today. And I'm also making the decision that this has to be an America First candidate in that White House.
Mm-hmm.
As I've said since the beginning, there are 2 America First candidates in this race.
Yep.
And earlier tonight, I called Donald Trump to tell him that I congratulated him on his victory. And now going forward, he will have my full endorsement for the presidency. And I think we're going to do the right thing for this country.
Round of
and so I'm going to
applause
ask
for Vivek, doing the right thing. Round of applause. Good job, Vivek. That's exactly what everybody should do.
Mm-hmm.
And that was, despite what you think, he's a plant or whatever, that was a class act. And that's the way that it should be.
Without a doubt.
I would say very similarly. Well, no, I didn't run a presidential campaign. But when President Trump called me and was like, Graham, you know we love you, but it ain't in the cards for you for this congressional race. You know, I can't make you get out, but I'm asking you, you know, lead the way and get out so the guy who is the guy who's got the shot can get in. And I did it. That's when you know who the real people are. Because that's tough, man. That's hard. It's hard on the ego. It's hard on the headlines. You get blasted for the next whatever. And it's tough. And so I give Vivek the props he deserves for that. But let's get into the man himself, POTUS, my president and soon to be 47th president.
Yes, sir.
Here's some victory remarks. Here we go.
And to all of the people standing behind me and all of the people in this room and so many great politicians and great dignitaries and friends, I just want to thank you all. This is a very special night. And this is the first, because the big night is going to be in November when we take back our country and truly we do make our country great again. Thank you very much, everybody.
All right,
Great
and then
honor.
last
Thank
but
you very
not
much.
least, here is a clip of him talking about Vivek. I'm pretty sure. Yep, here we go. There's him talking about Vivek.
I also want to congratulate Vivek because he did a hell of a job. He came from zero, and he's got a big percent, probably 8%, almost 8%, and that's an amazing job. They all did. They're all very smart people, very capable people.
All right. And then what's our last clip right here?
Nothing.
Oh, nothing. Okay, so that's it, guys.
Can I say something before?
Go. Yeah, absolutely.
When I was listening to Trump's talk about his rivals there, me coming from a blue state, living in there for 30 years, over 30 years in Oregon, he didn't originally have my vote in 2016. It wasn't until he was in office and did the job he did that he got my vote in 2020.
Yeah.
And he did so because of the things he did. Like yesterday when he was talking about his rivals and how he gave them the respect for running a campaign and how they came out. It reminded me of a lot of those fighters, just referencing the UFC again. When a fighter goes out and just beats the living snot out of the other fighter, they come over, they check on them, they bow to them sometimes, and just it's a sign of respect.
Oh yeah,
And he just
huge.
So
Yeah.
he definitely has my vote this time.
So that's a good point, Tony. Is this and the final thing I'll say? One, it's time for you to stop believing every person with a mouthpiece and an influencer. Okay, it's time for you to look at the people who have been here and stayed there the entire time consistently. Not, ooh, DeSantis is cool, and ooh, Vivek is cool, and ooh, and Nikki Haley, and ooh, and blah, 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 blah. Stop. It is time for Nikki Haley and Ron DeSantis to do the right thing and drop out of this race you bought and paid for, swamp creatures. 2, it's time for us to remember that this is politics. The end. It's not nice. Trust me when I say, you see what's in the White House right now, the people that play nice. You see that. We want fighters. You want the people that can get angry, that can get aggressive, that can take the sheath out and draw blood when need to be. But then when the fight is over, to Tony's point, they can extend that hand out and say, okay, are you ready to lock hands now and let's join this fight together? And that's where we are right now in this country. And that's where we are right now as Americans. It's over, guys. There is no presidential or there is no Republican candidate race. It's Donald Trump. And it's time for us, whether you like Trump's attitude or you don't like what he tweets or blah, 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 none of that matters. The fight's over. Here's my hand extended to you. Let's join together and let's fight the real enemy, which is the Democrats. Let's stop all this. Let's knock it off and let's join forces and start winning again. Not make America great again. Let's just start winning again. My hand is on the table for every single one of you. If this is your first time watching this show, as 10,000 of you are watching, make sure to hit that like button so more people see it. Make sure to follow so you never miss an episode. If you got something out of this, make sure that you share it with a friend and leave us a comment in the comment section because we do like to go back and talk to you guys as much as possible. But since there's so many of you on the chat right now, let's do the most important thing. Todd, lead us in prayer.
All right, let's bow. Father, we just thank you for another good show, another good day here. Lord, I just ask that if it's in your will, first and foremost, that Father, if it's in your will and you are the controller of all things, you are the guider of all things, but if it's in your will to have this country come together, that all sides of it, Trump, DeSantis, Vivek, Haley, whatever, whoever, have all of us come together, unify under one person that you choose, that can lead us into the right direction, that could get us back on track, and that could put you first above all. Father, I ask that you forgive us of the mistakes that we've made. And if there's anybody out there that's listening that is hurting or needs you, Father, that you meet the person where they are and you meet those needs and fulfill those needs. Father, we love you. We thank you. And we ask all these things in your Son's name. And all God's people said,
Amen.
Amen.
All right. Tony, say goodbye.
Hasta mañana.
All right. And as always, I'm Graham Allen. Stay awake, not woke. Trust in God, not the government. And for goodness sake, stop listening to people that have no idea what they're talking about. Peace.